Hey, good afternoon, head to head. This is Chris.
Hey guys, this is Scott. What's going on, folks?
I hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Head to Head. It's Wednesday today already. Man,
Wednesday.
This week is shooting by.
It's been killer fast, man.
I'm telling you, brother. Listen, man. I mean, we were just talking 5 minutes ago. I'm stressed out as hell. And then listen, it's a good thing.
Oh, it's a great thing.
Cause I'm not tooting my horn or our horn, but we're so busy right now.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's
So-
actually magical.
Yeah, and I was watching a video yesterday. I sent it over to you about chasing success, and success is generalized, so it's subjective. But chasing success, and then the more success you have,
Right.
the more success you want, or the more unsuccessful you feel because you had to chase more success, right?
Yeah, but like I'm trying to tell you, Devils, you got to pump your brakes a little bit and then prioritize what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. So we got a couple things going, podcast being one of them, and we've been very successful so far. We're getting a lot of viewers, a lot of good feedback. We're getting a lot of good guests coming on, a lot of repeat guests coming on, and we're being able to branch that out and kind of do different endeavors with it. But you just got to slow it down, brother. Just let it ride. Our listeners will take care of us. We'll take care of them.
I hear that.
It'll take care of itself. And yeah, man, just
Yeah, I know.
prioritize it, man. And just make it fun, man.
Last
That's
night I had a beer and I slept through the night,
all right.
but not straight through because I never sleep straight through the night. But
Okay.
I had a nice beer. You're not gonna ask me what kind. I appreciate that because I lose
Nah,
my
'cause
man
I don't wanna
card.
burn- yeah, I
you
don't
already
wanna
know
burn.
I'll lose my man card.
I just don't want to burn you on a Wednesday when you're telling me that you've been
It was
down.
cold. I'll put it that way.
I put it this way: if you told me it was a natty ice, I would tell you how many.
Close.
You would have said
You
one. I'd have been like, well, you need to get out of your own Jeep right
Plus,
now
I was hydrating.
and walk home.
Yeah, I was hydrating. Just so you guys know, we are doing a what do they call a car cast.
Yeah, we're doing a car cast.
So
today.
we've been broadcasting from our Studio J, which stands for Jeep, and we'll just let you guys know.
Yeah.
So when you see the video, that's what we're doing. Reason being is that we usually do other podcasts and casting and interviews and stuff during the day, but every now and then we get stuck
next to this Joker.
next to some guy starting his truck. Now, every now and then we get stuck having to do a mobile podcast. So CarCast, guys, welcome. This is probably the 10th one we've done in a vehicle.
Yeah,
And
car cast.
It's pretty impressive. So go to our YouTube. You'll be able to see us sitting in there.
Well, what I want us to do eventually with the car cast is actually put the sumbitch in drive.
What about
And just drive with the things, with the headphones on, and just drive and see
Right.
what happens.
and with the delay on the microphone, with that 2-second delay,
Oh, that'd be great.
when somebody honks their horn because I'm driving out in front of them, we'll find out.
Yeah, well, when Johnny
Plus-
Law pulls us over, that's a great conversation to have too.
Well, you see people driving with headphones on all the time. They always have the earbuds on.
The beats.
Yeah, we got a big dude coming on today.
Well, he's actually the brother of one of our favorite guests, Miss Karen Hunter,
That's right.
firearms instructor and
That's right.
editor and contributor to Black Rifle.
She's at the SHOT Show right now.
She's at the SHOT. We should be at the SHOT. We actually got invited to the
I
SHOT
haven't
show.
shot a weapon in 5 years, brother.
Well, that's your fault.
And I didn't shoot at anybody. I'm talking paper targets.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's my thing, man. But listen, I mean, she's at the SHOT Show right now. I was looking at some of her videos online, and she makes it look easy. No, she does. She makes it look real easy. She has those rifles. She has everything going on. So I hope you guys are having fun out there at the SHOT Show. But we got Scott Hunter coming on today from Practical Defense Initiative. So can't wait to speak with him.
Right.
Dude looks jacked too.
He's getting it in.
Yeah, he'll make a Glock 17 look small.
Wow.
So
It's impressive.
yeah, that's a big pistol.
So he's getting it. Well, we can take that a number of different
Listen,
ways.
man, I'm trying
but
to be. You just got a dirty mind, brother, for a Wednesday.
all day. Well, I had a nice meeting this morning.
Okay.
With some new endeavors.
That was your
getting
networking meeting?
Yeah, my networking meeting, getting
Okay.
some things going out on different lines of different things that we're doing. But that was actually a productive meeting. It actually was worth my while to wake up early, skip a workout, and go do that. Now I'm not skipping the workout all day.
I skipped my workout too.
No, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna
At
work
least
out.
you did something.
Well, have you ever had a Metrics bar?
A Metrics bar?
Yeah,
Oh, you talking about a Met RX bar?
Metrics. Yeah.
This is like the ocean thing again?
Yeah, the ocean
Met
thing.
RX? Metabolic.
So-
metabolic prescription is what it
I'm
stands
telling you
for.
right now, them sons of bitches are so big that
It's
when you pick it up, it's actually like doing a curl.
It is.
So I actually felt like I worked out by putting that bar in my mouth. Plus my jaw hurts.
You gave me the cookie dough one yesterday.
Well, I had the cookies and cream, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. The cookies and cream, and unfortunately, we're not getting sponsored by them yet. But if you want to sponsors,
Or
hit
just
us
send
up.
us a bar.
Sponsors, hit us up. They got a jelly donut bar.
No, they don't.
I saw it on Twitter.
Well, I don't see it in your hands, so.
Well, I just saw it on Twitter, and they haven't sent it to us yet. You can send that to Scott and Chris.
Yeah, you
Head to
can
head.
email. You can email the bar over to us.
Well, you can email us, and then I'll get you the address, and you can send them to
That's right.
to me personally. I'll make sure Scott gets one. Never. And we'll do that. But that sumbitch is so big that when I was coming to put it up to my mouth, I actually thought I was doing a curl. I actually flexed my bicep because I was like, damn, that sumbitch has some weight on it.
Yeah. But you know, during our 9 to 5, when we're sitting in this quiet office here, I got to sometimes eat a MedRx bar, and I had the peanut butter covered pretzels and something else. They got like 10 names in there, and I had to eat it quietly.
No, there's
I
no
got to
need
get
to.
in there like this. Because
No.
then when you bite into it, it's like, and I can hear myself chewing because there's so much stuff in there.
Nah, let them know.
But
Let them all know.
that cookie dough one was soft yesterday.
Let them all know.
The biggest problem with that was the stickiness to the wrapper.
No, let them all know, brother. Just let them all know what you're trying to do and what you're getting done. What we should do
What
is...
am I trying to do? I'm trying to stuff my face with some pretend cookie dough, pretend pretzels. I might as well just go to the vending machine and get it out at that point.
Get the chocolate.
Cut the
pretzels.
calories right in half.
Well, there's a train right now coming too.
Yeah, that's right. That's what happens when you do a car cast. You get to hear all this stuff.
Get the car cast, yeah. So that meant, again, not sponsored by him yet, but you can sponsor us. Fantastic. No, the cookies and cream was dynamite, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna.
So I think we got Mr. Hunter coming online here shortly, and we're gonna give a conversation to Mr. Hunter about working out, guns, and everything else in between.
Yeah.
Mr. Hunter, are you there, sir?
I am. How are you guys doing today?
There he is.
Hey.
Good morning, sir.
We were just bragging about you, man. Figured
Oh.
give you a little heads up. So you have a lot to live up to now.
I don't know about all that, but I appreciate it.
Well, this is Scott.
And this is Chris, bud. How are you?
Good. How are you gentlemen today?
We're doing well, man. Where are you at? You're out on the West Coast.
East Coast, actually. I'm in Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. Okay. Oh man, you know what? I would have loved to go into Ohio this year for the Arnold Strongman, but they just moved it to California.
Oh,
How about that?
I know, right?
I'd have came and high-fived you on the way over there.
Oh, I appreciate that. I've been looking forward to that.
Arnold's losing a lot of brownie points lately. Have you noticed?
Yeah,
I did.
I sure.
He's and the funny thing is, I was just saw on Instagram yesterday. I sent you the link.
Yep.
He's promoting. Look, he is who he is. He's a legend, right? But he's promoting plant-based protein. Now, I'm not gonna knock it because I've never tried it, but I'm just gonna say, unless you're eating an oak tree, that's about as best plant-based protein you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying. I don't know. Am I wrong?
You know, I do both. You know, I've got some whey and I have plant. And truth be told, myself, I haven't noticed that much of a difference. But, you know, that's just that. Maybe that's just I'm one of those fortunate few. I don't know.
Well, you'll have to send me that brand over so we can pick it out on that, because I'll tell you right now, I haven't had any yet that really any protein that really shows me good quality, except for this Redcon 1 I've been using lately. Have you ever tried that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's pretty good, man. So it's like it's a good, they're very military based, but at the same time they've got good quality products. It's all natural, so you don't see like whatever. You don't see sulfates. You don't see sodiums in there.
Right.
You see salmon protein, beef protein, and it's all broken
Right.
down.
Yeah,
So
what I do.
Yeah, I have noticed with the plant-based, I'm a little more picky about the plant-based that I use because I agree with you 100%. Not all plant-based proteins, I think, are worth it. I think you're getting some of it's just junk.
Right.
Right.
What's it taste like? Does it taste like grass or fresh cut grass or?
No, the one I'm taking now is a great rabbit mix. No, I'm kidding. The one I'm taking now is made by Orgain, and it's vanilla bean, and it actually tastes really, really good,
All right.
especially when I put fruit in with it, make a smoothie out of it. So
I like that, man.
Well, I take the
Mark Wahlberg has one out with his company called Performance Inspired, and he's got a plant-based protein that he brags about like crazy. So I'm interested in trying that one to see if it's all the hype he says. But
Well,
that's
I'll listen to him because he's actually dedicated to his
Well, actually, I
program.
just want to eat his hamburgers and then go to the gym.
right.
You know what I mean? I go to the
You
Wahlburgers.
can talk to him about the plant-based protein while you're eating his burger.
Yeah, we can have that conversation about the lettuce and all that. That's what it's called,
Yeah.
lettuce.
And then at the end, you just say good luck and you walk
Yeah,
away.
you just walk away. Now I take the Redcon 1. I get the banana nut bread and I make pancakes out of that.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff, man. You sent me some pictures of that.
No, it's phenomenal.
Well, let's jump in with Mr. Hunter here because we're just guy talk right now. But tell us a little bit about your practical defense initiative because I'm kind of curious about that. Is that just your training, or you got a program built around it?
Well, it is training right now. It started off just just as an IG page. You know, I was out there on Instagram, and there was just a lot of good people out there in the 2A community, and I was learning a lot of stuff. And then my sister, she was like, you ought to just create that page and literally gear it towards what you're doing.
Right.
So that's kind of evolved to, and it's kind of I'm trying to make it a well-rounded self-defense, one-stop shop kind of for all.
Gotcha.
So it's just kind of about different things. Kind of like my mission statement is to bring practical self-defense to practical people.
Of course.
And that's pretty much what it's about. I mean, I do some training classes. I do it as it's my passion, but it's kind of as a hobby on the side because I have a full-time job, unfortunately.
Yeah, we all do. We get that.
And I live in Ohio, so I've got limited days I can actually be outside and enjoy the weather.
Right.
That's a true story.
Well, speaking of that, is there a lot of competition in the Hunter family? Because Karen's top notch with what she's doing out there. She's doing
She's
fire
at the
range.
SHOT Show.
She's at the SHOT Show right now. She's doing firearms instructor.
I think you're making them feel sad right now.
Well, I just knew.
Guys, I gotta get a tissue. Hold on, I'm
Yeah, I mean,
crying over here.
she's making her mark. That's for sure. She's getting it in. So I just trying to figure out how that competitiveness was in the Hunter family. You guys ever just go down the range and see who can get the best day in, or what?
I tell you, it's funny you say that because I just got off the phone with her and Fred actually about a half hour ago, and she's telling me all this stuff she's doing at SHOT, and I'm crying over there at my desk. But no, it's it started off where I'm so proud of her, and I can't enough because it started off she wanted to get into shooting, and I said, well, come over with me and we'll start shooting. And then next thing I know, it's like I went to bed, woke up, and she's like beating me all the time on the range. I'm like, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
I did see some of her. I did see some of her groupings compared to yours on the pistol, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you brought it up,
well, I know. I'm telling you, and I broke the cardinal rule. What in that, that cardinal rule is you never train your students to be better than you, and I screwed that all up.
Right.
Yeah, she definitely put a plug in for you on her interview with me a few months ago. I don't know if you had an opportunity to take a listen to that, but she put a nice plug in that you got her started into it. So, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we do that. We really try to support each other. Like I said, I'm just really proud of her, and she's just kind of gone, just hardcore, and she's traveled a lot of ground in a short period of time and is very successful.
Oh, that's
so,
fantastic.
and just to be honest with you, I my personal opinion, she's just barely scratched the surface. I think the TUA community is going to be surprised at what they get from my sister as she continues on in her career.
Yeah.
Sure, we agree with
She'll
that.
be back on in March, I believe.
Yeah, she's coming back.
March is like Women's Empowerment Month, so we're trying to push that, and she was all about it, so we're just trying to set a date. But
she's set in. She's good. She's
she did.
Yeah, she's locked in.
Look at that. Chris is ahead of me on this game already.
But there's some competition. We go to the range. We're at the point now to when we shoot and train together. We're always trying to one-up each other. And some days she just completely outshoots me, and other days I outshoot her. So it's fun. It's fun to have that sibling competition where any day could be one or the other. So
right now, you train in any? And I'll just ask you this: I don't know how deep you got. I did a little protection work in my past, and we trained in a lot of Israeli tactics, like the sole at the end of your fire before you holster again. You do the sole. And I didn't know if that was something you guys did. Do you ever train in Israeli tactics at all?
I have not, but I would love to.
Okay. Well, I'll be right out.
Yeah. Take a drive.
No, I will. It's something that the Israelis are known for their defense, their fighting, and their initiative when it comes to weapons and tactics. And I think it's something that anybody that's shooting at this point definitely wants to take a peek into. I don't know if you've ever done protection work or any type of security, or have ever went to that level. Or even on the range with your training, but it's something definitely to take that next level kind of look at, and it's not hard to learn. It's just really adaptation of your body. Well, yeah, you're training yourself for movements, and they do short movements. That's really what they train in. So it's something that's big. But what's your go-to pistol of choice right now?
Oh wow, I have two.
Okay.
I have a CZ P10C. That I absolutely love, and which is in direct competition with my Glock 19X.
Oh, I love the 19. I carried that. That was one of my favorites. I was
both those.
Yeah, I was actually telling Chris, I was like, you're the guy that could hold it. You're the guy that can use the Glock 17 and not have an issue, because you're a beast. You sent me some pictures yesterday for the page, and I'm like, this dude is a beast, man. Like he's got it. He's got the weightlifting background, the pistol. So I'm guessing you could throw a Glock 17 around like there's nothing. I know.
He had the Mohawk thing going too, right? Which I appreciate.
The what?
The faux hawk.
The faux hawk.
The faux hawk, right?
Oh yeah.
I like that. I
yeah.
can appreciate that.
Yeah.
If I could get away
thank
with
you.
that, I would. I'd be a hero in my house. My boys would be, like Hawk and Animal, like Legion of Doom. They'd be happy as hell.
So what's your endeavors with Practical Defense then? Besides training at this point, what's the next goal for 2019? You set any initiatives for yourself?
I did actually. Exactly what you kind of alluded to is, I want to get more into personal protection work a little bit.
Sure.
That's been discussed with the people I train with and that train me, and to directly correlate that, I want this year. I want to work more on my movement when I shoot, which kind of goes along with what you're saying about the Israeli tactic. So, and then just the basics. I want to continue to make sure that my basics continue to refine, because everything's built on that. I'm a firm believer in that. So that's kind of I have some other things down the road this year, but those are the kind of the top two things I really want to focus on this year, in addition to increasing the amount of training and classes that I'm able to put on.
Okay.
Scott, with the protection work, are you looking for something? Are you going to try to form your own protection service, or you're looking just to kind of get in with somebody that's already established? How are you looking at that?
I haven't really given it that much thought yet, because I know there's going to be a lot of options out there.
Yep.
One of the guys that trains me, he has a part of his company does that. So that's one of the things that before I actually make that decision, I want to kind of learn the industry a little bit, see what each option affords me as to how I can adapt that into, how I can make that work in my life with my other obligations. So
Yeah, of course.
just kind of play that by ear.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you'll find out too once you get into protection work and it's sad to say that a lot of those weapons and everything that everybody thinks that we carry, it doesn't happen. You don't. Like you ended up usually not using weapons, and it's more hand-to-hand tactics and everything else that you're doing, because carrying weapons places is tough. You have to get
Do you at least
permits.
get the suit? Do you at least get the J.C. Penney suit?
I don't know, man. I was always covert khakis and a
Polo?
and a untucked button shirt.
Well, that's what I'm in right now every day.
And those thick ass 511 shirts that they sell. You ever wear one of those?
Yeah, it's overrated.
You ever wear one of those, Scott?
Yeah, it's overrated.
The 511 shirts?
511? No, I've not.
Oh my gosh, they're so thick.
Yeah, that's not good. You got to be able to breathe.
It's tough.
Yeah, well, it's probably like my Doba. I do martial arts, and we always joke around and say that we're wearing carpet. So
Right.
I'd probably be used to it.
What do you do? Jiu-jitsu?
Kido.
Oh, nice.
What is it? Aikido?
Aikido. Yeah.
Oh, Kokikai
Yeah.
Aikido?
Yeah, Kido.
Oh, Kia. Okay. So that's a little different than Kokikai. Is that? But Aikido's what Steven Seagal did, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's all about
Yeah,
motion. It's all about motion and using other people's energy.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great, man. How long you been doing that?
About 2 years.
Okay. Are you? What do they call it? They call it a dan? No, they call it a. What do they call their sensei? Sensei?
Yeah, not sensei. It's Korean. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah.
Escapes me. He's a master, so I just call him, Master Schwab.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. Do you practice the unbendable arm and all that stuff? Have you tried that yet?
No, not that. No.
Oh man, you got where you focus your chi and you try the unbendable arm, where you can't move somebody off the ground. That's a phenomenal little scenario once you can lock your body to the ground and people can't pick you up or move you.
No,
I've seen that, and I've actually done that with somebody.
Yeah.
Actually, just a couple months ago, we did a seminar, and the instructor did that. He's like, "All right, Scott, come pick me up."
Right.
Couldn't pick him up.
And he's solid, chained to the ground.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, next time you meet somebody that's there, ask them to teach you the unbendable arm as well. You'll be highly impressed with that.
Yeah, I definitely do that. Matter of fact, I'll check with my master next week when I'm in class.
Yeah, you report back to us on that. Actually do a video. Because it's funny. What you're doing is you're holding your arm out, and literally your arm is completely relaxed, and you're just focusing on your chi. And once you do that, you're actually focusing about 5-10 feet in front of you that you're grabbing like a flower or something like that. and then somebody will come up, like Chris or May will come up, we'll try to bend your arm, and like we'll put all of our might into it, and it won't bend. Literally, your arm will just be stiff, and you can't bend it. So
That's cool.
It's an amazing little thing to practice. Once you don't practice it, you lose it.
So, Scott, I had a question for you, and loop back into the firearms. I always find it intriguing, whether it's in firearms or whatever the endeavor is how someone actually got involved and found a passion. Yesterday we had and we're going to be dropping that episode on Monday, but we had an individual that started off, he thought he was going to play baseball, and now, based off of just kind of life, he's going to now attempt to become a professional fisher, bass fisher. And I always find it neat of that journey to mentally go, this is what I love, this is my passion, and now I want to explore doing this for the rest of my life. So I want to hand that question over to you to see how this journey started for you. And obviously it's evolved into other things, but somebody or somehow somebody put something in your hand and you fired that first shot and was like, damn, I really like this, I love this. How did that happen?
I'll tell you, I grew up hunting, a little bit, and so I grew up with rifles and shotguns a lot. Didn't have hardly any experience with handguns, and then one day, many years past that, my buddy who's on the Instagram with me, Robert, he was a MP in the Army,
Okay.
and he shot a lot, and we just went shooting one day because one of those things where he's like, hey, let's go shooting, and I started shooting, and I really and that was the moment that you described right there. I was just shooting. I'm like, man, I really like shooting handguns. These semi-automatics are a lot of fun. And then that led to wanting to get a CCW, and then I hit that CCW class, and then I was hooked. The instructor, I was fortunate, not to go off on a tangent, but I hear a lot of stories about CCW classes where some of these people go in, they shoot 6 or 7 shots, and then they're good to go and they get your CCW. We had a retired SWAT guy who instructed our class, so I'm pumping 200 rounds down range on the last half of the class, and he had us doing tactical movements and things, and then I was hooked. Once for my CCW class, I was like, it was just kind of like full throttle, balls to the wall, and I just kind of have never looked back.
It's amazing because we got two jarheads sitting here, we're having this conversation, and my thought, and I'm only talking for myself, but my thought was I was going to come out of the Marine Corps and I was going to do something, similar to the military for the rest of my life. And here I found a passion with the podcast. And this podcast turned from something actually that was silly, and actually we'll call it stupid, was the conception of it, to then finding a niche of wait a minute,
the original idea was
the original idea was completely just
dumb.
It was just not.
Yeah, you got to. We know our faults.
So, and based off the fact that I had little to no resources when I came out of service, Scott had already gone through a lot of the mundane nonsense. One morning I just woke up. I was in a bad mood. I was going to the gym. I almost quit. And I flipped on this, the podcast thing that we had at the time. We still use it. But I just flipped it. I ran it. I just ran it on the way to the gym just to blow steam off. Maybe that's counterproductive. You're supposed to have all that rage and anger going into the gym. But I used it, and now it's turned into this, and this is actually picking up speed. And it's not for that point. The point is that
by the time you got to the gym, you were in tears and sipping a latte.
Well, I had a double shot espresso.
Actually, I think that's the day you went in and pulled a new PR too.
Yeah, I had the new PR that day, but we'll digress. It ain't about me; it's about Scott. But no. So I just find it curious, because if you would have told me a year ago that I would actually care and want to do podcast and have conversation, dialogue, I'd have said, probably not. But really, I really look forward to talking to individuals like yourself that found a passion. You're actually trying to have, not as a hobby, but now you're trying to make that your full-time gig, and at the same time, in your instance, you're going to be helping others facilitate and manage and make their dreams for people that want to learn how to protect themselves with firearms, be more confident holding a firearm, because that's really, for me, was the main thing, right, is the confidence of holding the firearm. It's not actually shooting rounds down range. It's actually the confidence to hold that thing and do right by the pistol.
Well, that first initial kick will get you, right? You ever take Jen shooting, your wife? You ever take her shooting?
Yeah.
So I took Joanna too. She outshot me first round.
Oh yeah, of course.
I showed you the picture. I'll post it online. But she shot 3 center mass in the guy's forehead.
Well, it's just like Scott was saying about Karen.
Yeah. So, and I was like, well, I'm done. I'm not shooting. No, I did. I quit because there was no need for me to do it after because I would have missed anyway.
Let me caveat off what you're saying there. And first of all, I totally agree with you. Your guys' podcast is growing like fire, and it's a great podcast. You guys, in my opinion, have one of the best ones out there. I enjoy the content, the dialogue you guys conduct yourselves. I mean, it's breath. It's really refreshing. But to that, I completely agree. One of the I really enjoy teaching girls, and it's for that very reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's most of my experience with teaching girls is they're sponges. I mean, they come onto the range, they come into these classes, they know they don't know what they don't know, and they're good with that. They don't have any ego, they don't have this. When they leave, they feel empowered. And one of the things that I think is so cool that happens is that as a man, which obviously I am, so I can relate to this. When I go out and I'm learning new things, when I'm learning things and I'm shooting, and Karen or Fred's like, yeah, that's it, Scott. That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. With a girl, it's like they get excited. And then that excitement turns into positive energy. And then that spreads from one girl to the next.
Yep.
And then you can just feel this energy in the class and on the range, and which just creates more positive experiences later on down the road. And I just think that's really cool. And that's a great takeaway for me is, when you can get that type of empowerment through confidence.
Yeah, I can hear the passion in your voice when you're talking about that. So I know that's a true issue you're speaking about, and that's great, man.
Well, see, the thing is, I have a daughter. She's 8 years old, and life is life, right? But I always find it one of those things that you may never know, but your teachings, the way you conduct yourself with the women and the girls that you're training, and I don't know what age group that you start with, but if it's a school aged girl, they might have more confidence in the classroom. If it's an older lady, now she has more confidence in herself because now she's holding herself differently. She has confidence in herself, and it goes a long way. And you might not get the credit, or you might not even know that something happened in that individual's life.
Right.
But by taking your class or just hearing what you had to say, or you showed them a different way of doing something on the range, it just sparked their confidence, and they were able to become something else outside of the range. That helped them through their life, and I find that very admirable, and it's a very nice thing for people like yourself that have that passion. Again, you might not ever see it happen, but that woman or even the man at that point will have more confidence moving forward in life.
Yeah, and and that's the big thing that I totally agree with you is that just like the age old thing you hear all the time in the gun training world is that everybody's hand's different. So a 19 in my hand is not going to feel as good as a 19 in your hand does, and you might not even like Glock. You may shoot Smith & Wessons better. People are the same way. Just like you said. I mean, you got to be able to look at your student and realize what's the optimum learning experience for them. It might be that one-on-one, or they might thrive in a classroom setting where there's more people there. And I think that's at the end of the day, it's about success. And however I need to equip people that I work with, that's the path I'm willing to take.
That's great, man.
Where so I take it that it's Ohio-based training is where you're at right now?
Yeah.
So where would somebody out in Ohio, or anybody that is looking for some additional training, if they're willing to come out to Ohio, how long is your training? Is it kind of just one of them deals you show up at, and it just kind of, or is there a set schedule, or and how would they find you, and what's all involved with that?
Well, it's I'm very early in doing training, so I don't have a set schedule. What's been happening, the way it's been working is it's been a lot of people like I work with, some people out of my martial arts class, talk to friends of friends. That they're very small classes, small groups, one-on-one type deal, and they're almost right now kind of like tutorials type deal. So when I get enough people, which could be 2, 3, 4, 5 people, we'll go out to the range, and then I'll go through and do a class. Some of them, what's really been popping up on my radar lately is churches. A lot of the friends.
I'd like to hear about this. Go ahead.
Yeah, they've been asking me about, hey, or we have a bunch of volunteer people with CCWs, and a pastor wants them to carry in church,
That's
but
great.
he wants to get training, and there's some legal lines there. I'm like, I'm like, look, I'm not an attorney and I'm not an insurance adjuster. So, first of all, you got to contact your attorney and your insurance company, because I am not providing any type of any legal advice on what you need to do. My training is specifically to show you how to handle and operate a firearm at the 101 level,
Right.
and then
take you to
and
church on Sunday in case something
Well,
happens.
here's the reality of life with that. Now that you brought that up, the reality of life is active shooter training is a very real need in the United States and probably around the world, really. But when you're having a church reach out to a firearms instructor, that's when you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just say it. Shit just got real, right?
Right.
I mean, it's great, but at the end of the day, when a church needs their pastor to carry a firearm, it's because they've watched the news and they've seen some of these things that have been happening in the churches because people are they're just hateful, right?
Living in fear.
Well, no, the people are hateful and they're coming into the churches and they're doing some really terrible things. So, have you ever thought about any kind of active shooter training for local law enforcement? I know around this area, different places help law enforcement learn tactics and different things like that. Obviously, they have their own SWAT teams and stuff, but a lot of times SWAT goes to places such as yourself or people like yourself that are trained in certain ways of carrying the firearm and different tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about something of that nature, or has that ever been something discussed?
It's been discussed because my sister Karen actually does some of that stuff with Fred at Force Options, and I see what that entails.
Right.
And really, what I'm doing now is focus more along the lines of the 101. I especially really target the people who, I just got my CCW. What do I do now? That's where I like to come step in. Not that I wouldn't like to get up to the LEO or SWAT level. But I personally, for me, I feel like there's some other things I need to personally work on in my personal training before I feel comfortable going to that level.
That's fair enough. You're humbled by it, and that's good. So at least you know where you stand and what your projections are. So yeah, you were speaking about learning some new tactics throughout 2019 earlier. So I think if you stick with that, you'll be on a great path. And I was noticing too, man. You sent me over some pictures yesterday. Your fitness training. You're pretty jacked, So what is your regimen like? So now you got the gun side, you're working out, so you're working towards the right path of being able to physically handle yourself, and you got the Aikido side of everything and the martial arts. So what's your regimen like training wise, or you just kind of throw it in when you can get it in?
No, it's pretty strict. I get up at 4 a.m. every morning.
Okay. Tell me about how you do that, because I cannot do that.
Yeah. Well, I have, it's rough. It's rough. I have two kids, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So.
Oh well, I have no excuses now.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I have kids, but there goes that excuse.
Yeah, you're done. You're shot.
I'm just a lazy bastard at this point.
Yeah, you're shot.
So go ahead, tell me about your regimen. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. Good, it's fun, guys. It could be taxing at times. Try to get the kids to bed at a decent time so Dad can be in bed. Between 9:30 and 10.
Yep.
Then alarm goes off about 5 minutes till 4. Get up, get my clothes on. Fortunately, I put a gym in my basement, so that's where I work out now. I was working out here on base at the gym, but it was a lot more challenging. And if the base closes or there's a holiday, that kind of screwed my workout up.
Right.
And I just got up earlier, so I had the space. I wanted to put it in there, so I'm down there in the gym in the morning working out. I usually get a good hour in. And then it's upstairs to shower, make some breakfast, and off to work. So I try to stay very regimented with that.
Okay.
Have you ever speaking of working out, what I do now is and Scott put me on this, and I've run with it. I do this intermittent fasting. You ever tried that?
He doesn't need to, brother. He can see his abs.
Yeah, no, but it's not really about seeing abs. There's other things.
Yeah, there's two of them there.
There's two of them, he says. That's fantastic. But there's more to the fasting part of it than just seeing your abs. Have you ever heard of that, or even tried that, or are you using that method?
No, I have heard of it. I've got a good friend of mine who does that. He does intermittent fasting from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock every single day.
Yeah.
And he says it works wonders for him and loves it.
Yeah. Well,
so people in the fitness community that I've talked to, they've done it and they like it as well too. I just haven't tried it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. This is my thought process with it. So I've been doing it now for, let's call it 6 months, and I don't eat from 7:30 at night until noon the next day, and strategically, because that's my window that I can safely say I don't need to eat anything, based off the fact I'm at home and then I'm at work in the morning, and I can just blow by the fast food place or whatever, or skip the meal at breakfast, whatever. And what I found is I was powerlifting up until September, and that's when I got married. And truthfully told, Scott could tell you, And it's no bragging right because it was a small jacket to begin with. But people were telling me to stop working out, stop lifting because the jacket was going to blow off my back. And again, it was a small jacket. I think it was a kid's large jacket at the time.
Yeah, you're doing a medium.
It was a medium jacket. Right. So I'm not anybody special. So I literally stopped working out, and then I went to the honeymoon. And there's no real good gyms in any hotels in the United States ever. And
right.
So I just stopped, and then we took on a new endeavor, and 100 different excuses down the road, I just started going back into so-called powerlifting and eating again and doing all that stuff. But what I did find by fasting and continuing to fast, even when I wasn't working out, I didn't lose as much strength as I thought I was going to lose. I still had to get back to where I was, obviously, but I didn't lose as much as I thought I would have after not training for so long. And I didn't really put on any more fat by doing it.
You just got thicker.
Nice.
Right. So and then there's documentaries out there. There was one on Netflix that Scott pointed me to about they did some studies in Europe and a lot of different things about how cancer cells actually thrive on the food that you intake, which I thought was very interesting. So when you basically you starve yourself of that, then the cancer cells have nothing to feed on. Therefore, it slows their progress of growing, and then therefore something else happens where it actually starts to kill cancer cells. Your body will actually fight the cancer cells and get rid of them, as opposed to some of these other more Western medicine type things. So I find that all very interesting. And, that's why I always ask people that are into health and fitness, whether it's, that's their MO or they just do it as a lifestyle, have they ever tried it?
Yeah, and I've seen some of those studies, and I do think that's interesting as well. What you eat, how you eat, and the fasting, how that plays into the starving of the cancer cells. And I agree with you. That's extremely interesting. Yeah, I should try it. My wife is trying to get me to do it. She says, you just need to try it and see what do it for a month and see what kind of effects it has on your body. So,
well, what I'll tell you is the first
week,
week,
cranky. That's the effect.
The first week is hell. No, the first week is hell. It is hell, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But after you get through it, it's actually you actually hate yourself for actually even eating anything before your prescribed time.
Yeah, and we talked about
you actually get sick to your stomach for eating something.
And the day you mess up or you mess up for 2 days, you just jump right back into it.
Yeah, it's easy enough to jump back in because your body already gets it. You already know. And I found interesting in one of the documentaries I watched, just to kind of counter that, as talking a little bit more into it, is they had some studies with mice, and they somehow or another they had mice and they put cancer in the mice.
Yeah, right.
And they had 2 different cages of mice, and the mice that and then they left for a week. They didn't. They fed one group of mice. They fed them, and then the other group they didn't put any food in their cage for the whole week. When they came back, all the mice that had food in their cage were dead, and the mice that did not have food in their cage, they were still alive.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a telltale sign for me that and if you think about it, we're not programmed to go into a refrigerator when we want something. Like we're not programmed to have refrigerators.
We're not supposed to be programmed.
Right. Well, my apologies. Yeah, we're not supposed to just be able to open up a refrigerator.
I'm damn well programmed to go to my fridge to get some food. I don't know about you
well
guys.
Played, sir. Well played. But you know what I mean. Like you're not here to just open up a refrigerator for convenience. You had to hunt for your food. It took days to track down game or whatever to kill and then feed your family and stuff. So I just find that very interesting. I always like to get the perspectives of people that are in health and fitness.
Are you a chicken and rice guy, Scott, or you kind of eat what you want?
A little both. I'm big on protein.
Right.
I mean, I like red meat, I like chicken, I like turkey. I'm really not a snob when it comes to that kind of stuff. My big thing as far as diet goes is I really limit the amount of carbs that I take and the sugars.
Okay, that's good.
Try to get rid of processed stuff. I don't want any processed stuff.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge plus, man.
Yeah, plus with the supplements that I take, I've noticed that that's really changed how I feel. It's changed how my body's starting to take shape. The benefits of my workout routine. So, and then like you said, it was hell for me to get up at 4 a.m. for the first week. But then after you do it now, it's like I don't even really need to set my alarm because I'm just getting up now on my own. And with that healthier diet, it's like I'm more focused. I have more energy. I'm a little bit more, definitely more clarity throughout the day. So it makes a difference.
Well, good. You and The Rock have that in common, man. They're getting up at 4 a.m. I'm actually gonna step up my game because he's making me feel Like I need to get that. And I was we were talking on we were texting last night, me and Scott, and I had sent him over my personal Instagram page because I not to brag, but I wanted him to learn a little bit more about me.
Sure.
And now I feel like dog shit because he gets up at 4 a.m. and works out. But I did one thing one time in my life, and here I am.
Yeah, but you got that one arm deadlift that was really sick, and I'm like, crap, I got to step my game up now. I got to try that.
Yeah, man.
You believe this guy posts this one arm deadlift, and all of a sudden he's got somebody ask him to wear their gear.
Yeah.
This guy.
Send me a double XL. Make the
This audacity of this guy.
Yeah, send me a double XL. Make sure the belly is stretchable.
That was impressive. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like, dang. I'm like, Monica, that's my wife. I'm like, you gotta see this. Come here.
Yeah, he's like, look at this fat guy lift his weight up.
He's like, you should be able to do this. Still, probably does it every morning and everybody gets up.
That's funny, man. No, I love it, man. I love the deadlift. It's something that we got away from. That was my New Year's resolution in 2018 was to be able to deadlift 500 pounds. And I hit that in October. It took me like 9 months to get there.
Yeah, but you know
what a freaking struggle.
But you know the great part about the powerlifting community as a whole, we could talk to someone like Scott that's in Ohio, or you could talk to somebody else in the country, or even all across the pond, so to speak, or any other part of the world. And if you're a power lifter, it's not, oh, I did 500 and then that's braggadocious. It's literally, I did 500 and it motivates people, and people are like, oh, that's great.
Right.
There's no like egos in power. No.
Well, there's always ego lifts.
Well, that's yourself. For yourself. But I'm saying as a community, nobody, there's really no sense of jealousy or resentment.
Right.
You want to see people succeed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. And it kind of pushes everybody to continue down their path. You know, you did 501 arm. I'm going to try that now. So, and had you not even shared that, I'd have been, you know, who knows what would have spurred me to do that, you know? I mean.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what got me to do that. And I think, did I talk about this the other day? I don't know if I did, but I had a buddy of mine send me a video. He just started deadlifting. And he sent me a video. He did 325 for 5. And, you know, I was like, man, that's great. The problem is at the end of the video, he goes, what's up? And I'm not that dude, but I was like, oh, okay, we'll play the what's up game. Right. And I sent him a video. I sent that video back to him about 10 minutes later and basically shut his down. And that was like, that wasn't me fighting him or whatever, but like, I got what he was trying to do. Like, where are you at with your lifts? Because I haven't been posting any lifts at all. Right. So I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to motivate me. And I appreciate that, but you know, I had to give him one for that one. But yeah, man. I don't know if you do heavy lifts or you stick to light lifts or more not light lifting, but more reps. What's your kind of regimen on that?
It depends on my broken body. My overall routine is as much weight as I can 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, that's about where we're at. That's pretty good.
I'm trying to build mass. I'm trying to build mass and bulk strength. With that said, I've got a torn rotator cuff right now that kind of limits me on certain movements. So where I have no impingement in my shoulder, you know, I'm doing a lot of weight 5 or 6 times, and then where I have impingements, then I do as much as I can. And if it's light, I try to go 15 to 20.
Gotcha. So I gotcha. Good work. You find that when you lift heavy, though, sometimes it actually makes the ailments go away?
Yeah, it does. And
you know, I'm in funny?
It is. I'm in a kind of a pretty intense physical therapy program right now for my shoulder, and my therapist tells me, he's like, you know, the fact that you're working out the way that you're doing and lifting those weights where you can is actually strengthening the muscles around your shoulder, which is helping heal the tear. So
that's great.
So I'm pretty excited about that because I'm trying to stay out of the OR. I tell you that.
Absolutely.
I get that too. I think you got a shoulder issue, don't you?
Yeah, I always got some sort of issue, brother. Most of the time, it's a pocket issue.
Yeah, I hear
it's always too light.
It's empty.
Well, yeah.
I get that.
That's the biggest issue.
And it's everybody's issue, you know.
So Scott, let me just so our listeners can know. I mean, to the meat and potatoes of the thing, your firearms. If somebody was looking for getting a hold of you for some training or some kind of information,
some one-on-one
courses, or whatever. How would they find you? Where can they find you? And how soon can they get up to the range?
What they can find me on Instagram. They just go in and search Practical Defense Initiative. DM me. That's kind of what most people are doing. And like I said, for one-on-one classes, like a lot of the churches, they just hit me up out there and they just, hey, I'm interested in this. Can you do that? And going back to one of the earlier questions you guys talked to me about 2019 goals, that's one of my goals, is to be able to get myself in a position where I can put like structured classes together for this year versus just getting enough people together where I can go out and have what I call a tutorial class type deal. So that's the best way they can do is just DM on Instagram, and then I could touch base with everybody that way and put together something that fits everybody's needs.
Now, what if and I know this might be getting ahead right now, but for those that are not in your immediate area, is there any thought to, or have you already thought about maybe going remote, taking what to someone, a church, let's say in Pennsylvania, or a church out in Pittsburgh, or New York, or Florida, whatever it might be, or
You can find the niche.
yeah, find that people that that are listening now and they say, well, we're not in Ohio, but I still would like that.
Would you be willing to travel?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah, I would love to.
Okay.
I love to travel. I enjoy it. I travel for work occasionally, and so firearms aside, my wife and I love to travel, so I just enjoy that in general. So if I could marry that with something that I have a passion for, yeah, I'd definitely be willing to do that.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll get that word out then. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll definitely push that through and get on our social media sites. Obviously with this thing here, but we'll get that pushed out. But obviously we'll push out anything going on. For our listeners here on the East Coast and out west in the Midwest, see if anybody is interested in that, and we'll definitely get them their information. You have any thoughts about the Super Bowl? You have any because tis the season, right?
It is, and as much as I hate to say it, I don't. It's hard to really go against Tom Brady.
Well, it's funny you say that because if you listen to one of our interviews we do with our guy Todd on Fridays, when Tom Brady and the Patriots played Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, the question was, what did I think was going to happen in that game? And again, I'm not tooting my own horn, because if I was and I was somebody special, I'd be making a lot of money off these football teams and gambling. I refuse to do that because I'm never right. However, on this, for instance, to your point, you never go against Brady ever. And Phillip Rivers at that point, he was playing good ball regular season, but he's very notorious to drop the ball, so to speak, in the playoffs. And when you get Tom Brady, especially losing the Super Bowl last year, there's like a fire. I mean, the guy has nothing to prove, and yet he seems to feel like he always has something to prove, and that's a scary individual, especially an athlete.
Well, how old is he now?
12. Have you seen the man?
No.
I don't know what.
Come on, you're asking me.
Look,
if
listen,
I've
brother.
seen-
I understand
Come
Scott's
on.
talking about his regiment. We have our regiments, but we ain't nothing on this man. This man looks like he's 12. Right or wrong, Scott? He's 12. He looks like he's 12 years old.
He does. I mean, that's his jersey number for a reason, right?
I mean, exactly. I mean,
there it is.
it's unbelievable, this guy, and he's playing lights out football. So I said it on the podcast, and I'll say it now. There's no way I'll bet against Tom Brady. No shot.
Would you have said that last year?
No, I did say it last year. I didn't think the Eagles were going to beat the Patriots. I had no idea what happened last year was going to happen.
Who's the other team playing this year?
It don't matter, but it's the Rams.
Oh, it is, okay. Scott, you'll find out about me. I don't follow sports.
You don't follow foosball or nothing.
Yeah, I drink water. That's about it. That's my sport. So no,
Well, the other thing to Tom Brady, though, the guy's just healthy, man. He's just healthy.
Yes. Agreed.
yeah, he hasn't really been broken, has he?
No.
Not really. He had some knee problems, I think, early on, but that's about it. So, what's your prediction on that? We're not going to hold you to it, but
I will.
Well, you can. What's your prediction?
Oh man.
I put you on the spot. I got you.
Brady. Want to go with Tom Brady?
All right.
Patriots.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's my prediction? I think there's going to be 4 quarters.
Okay.
There might even be 5
Well,
if
figure
it
it out.
goes overtime. I don't know.
We can't have all these mixed reviews, brother. You got to just stick with something. It's 4 quarters or 5 quarters. My man could have said he's going to go with Brady.
I'm looking forward to Maroon 5 at the halftime show.
That makes one of us.
So, no, I like that new song. What is it?
Exactly.
Exactly, right.
Exactly.
I was trying to get you. See that, Scott? I was trying to get them to be like Girls Like Me or something like that, or Guys Like Me, whatever the song's called. I was trying to get you, but you didn't do it.
Scott actually had.
I know you know it.
Scott actually said these guys
it.
were doing a good job, and then you just completely ruined it with a Maroon 5 reference
Yeah, I give
on a
away.
podcast talking about guns,
I lost my
working
man
out,
card
and
years
protein.
ago. No, I lost my man card
You killed it.
in 2016 when I lost all
We're
my
gonna change this
testosterone.
entire thing to Man Card Wednesdays.
Yeah. Scott doesn't have, this Scott, not you Scott, but this Scott doesn't have a man card. I lost mine.
Yeah, the
I
Jelly
lost
Man
mine
has no
in,
man card.
in August when I lost all my testosterone.
No.
That's a true story. Gone, 0. So that's a story for another day. But just so you know where I stand in life.
Right.
Gynecomastia. What do they call them? Bitch tits? Yeah, baby. All
You
day.
got them all, huh?
High prolactin levels right before I start milking.
I'll tell you what, Scott's probably thinking, what did he get himself into getting
Yeah.
on with us two knuckleheads?
Oh, dude, I'm loving it, guys. This is great.
So
So-
now we appreciate it. What we'll do is we'll get this out tonight for you. You'll see that hit our website and YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Tell your friends, your family, your network of people. Like I said, the more people that we can get the word out and the content, you know, you might have somebody on the range that's got some other issues or other needs, and
I'm sure there's a lot of veterans that want to get out. And
other
work on the
veterans
range
and stuff.
and do training.
So we can get that out there to them, and then they can always come to our website for other resources that we have available for other people that we have on. And then, like I said, maybe hopefully we can get yourself back on. Maybe get you and your sister kind of to tag team it, to just kind of
Yeah,
take the
I'd like
pulse.
to get them to go head to head in competition and find out.
Yeah,
Get them,
how
get
we're
them bickering a little bit. You
that'd
know?
be nice.
We'd love that.
That'd be nice. We come down, we get the video of it. You know, we do a little
Yeah,
live
we'd
from the
love it.
ranch.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Scott, we definitely appreciate your time. We're going to share
Yes,
your
sir.
information, your knowledge.
Yeah, God bless you.
We'd love
Keep
to
doing what you're doing.
We'd love to keep
Thanks,
up.
guys. I appreciate it. I sent an email out to all my coworkers. I work at a military base, you know, for the Department of Defense,
Okay.
and I work with a lot of veterans who are all Pro 2A. So I'm putting out, hey guys, go check out this podcast, you know, head to head, and hopefully we can pick up some more subscribers and followers for you guys.
Well,
Yeah, I
we definitely
appreciate
appreciate
that,
that,
brother.
sir. And hopefully we get some people to reach out to you here shortly, just to kind of, figure out what next steps are to get in there. Again, whether it's to better themselves with a firearm or just build confidence and do cross something off the old so-called bucket list of, hey, we want to learn how to shoot a weapon and be confident in doing so, or all the above. We'll make sure that we can get that pushed out for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because that's kind of one of my goals too. I didn't really go into a lot, is
Go
trying
for
to
it.
really find the whole self-defense package, whether it's, you know, hand-to-hand, it's guns, it's situational
Absolutely.
awareness. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm really putting together as I go forward on exactly kind of where I want to teach, because I get a lot of women who ask me, hey, if I could just learn 2 or 3 simple moves so I feel confident when I don't have a gun. And I think that's huge right now, and I'm trying to capitalize on that, because again, anything I can do to empower anybody so they walk with confidence in our crazy world today is a win.
Absolutely. Well, there's a movie out there that's phenomenal. Jennifer Lopez started, called Enough.
Oh, I think you say Miss
Yeah.
Congeniality when she sings on stage.
Well, Sandra Bullock's great
steps
too.
on his foot,
But
hits him in the stomach, and then kicks him in the nuts.
right.
That's
Well, that's
what-
Sandra Bullock, brother.
right.
We're gonna have a whole nother
Who,
podcast
by the
just
way,
about Sandra
I'm
Bullock.
gonna, I am right now. I'm gonna go off on it. Who, by the way, in this movie, Ocean's 8,
Right.
in the beginning when she's stealing stuff from the store,
Right.
she looks like Michael Jackson.
Well, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
you gotta watch it. You can't unsee it. I told my wife about it, Joanna. I said, watch this, and I said, all you're gonna think about is Michael Jackson, and she agreed.
All right.
So it's
I gotta
two,
watch that now.
Yeah, so it's 2 people. It's on HBO right now.
So that'd be 3 people that watched that movie.
That'll be 3 people that'll watch that movie.
All right. Well, no, but that movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez is a fantastic movie. And,
Oh yeah, that's great.
with the fact that
Totally.
to your point of women and getting confident, that movie kind of brings out that whole woman empowerment, learning something and then doing something for herself, and maybe not to that level of sneaking back into the house and waiting for him all day and fist fighting him in the dark, but
Because it happens all the time.
because it happens well, I mean, unfortunately,
know, man.
unfortunately it might, unfortunately. But my point is that to your point, and I really respect Scott, is that you're really passionate about teaching people, and you find a passion for teaching young ladies, women, and just off of that, what age group do you suggest people getting into firearms? I find that unique as well.
Sick.
You know, I agree. I think it's a little bit different for everybody. You know, I've met some parents who bring, literally, like you said, bring their 6-year-olds, and they are completely of the mindset and ready, willing to learn. And then I've seen 7 and 8-year-olds who are just more interested in you know, kind of playing around.
Yeah.
So I think it's relative to the kid, relative to, you know, kind of their demeanor and their character is. So what I tell people is, as soon as you feel that, you know, your child is ready, where they can actually show, you know, respect and, you know, a good element of safety for the firearm, I would start
Right.
introducing them to things. You know, myself, my daughter's 5, and my son is 3, and they just think that, you know, my guns are the coolest thing. In the very beginning, I would actually, when I'm cleaning my guns, I would dismantle it and just let them have the frame. and I would teach them at their age how to hold the gun. Not necessarily my son, but my daughter at 5.
Right.
I would teach her how to
Right.
hold it.
That's
And
great.
because the biggest thing, my personal opinion is, if they see the gun and you quickly remove it and put it away, that just fuels their curiosity when I pick it up.
Right.
So right away, my first thing is this. This is what we do. Don't ever put your finger here. Keep it out of the trigger guard. Don't touch the trigger. Make sure it's safe. And so what I did is I actually bought them 2 airsoft guns
Okay.
that with a racking slide, and they actually, when at least Lorelai now, when she picks up her airsoft gun, it's funny and it's cute because she'll pick it up and that finger's on the slide. It's never inside the trigger now.
That's
So
great,
for
man.
me, that's a win.
That's actually really great, and you know that's actually another course you might want to have if parents do have guns in the house, weapons in the house. Have that whole safety course with the parents for the children.
Yeah.
So, but I
And to
get what you're
caveat
saying.
that,
I think it's great that you're teaching your kids that. That's fantastic.
Thanks. And I just want to put the disclaimer out that just because that I believe that doesn't mean I leave my guns lay around the house. I'm
Sure.
saying-
No, of course not. No, I get that too, man. No, don't worry. No, I know there's going to be somebody out there that be like, oh my God, this guy's letting his kids play with his guns, but that's not the case at all. Like it's
Right.
we get it on this end, so we're there to defend you if anybody comes back.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, listen, sir, enjoy your day. We'll connect with you here soon. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing out there, and thank you so much for being on Head to Head Podcast today.
Man, guys, I thank you so much for having me. It was a great time, and you guys keep doing what you're doing, and God bless you because I love your show.
Thank you, sir. Take
thanks,
care of
Scott.
yourself.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man, that was a great interview. I'll tell you, he's a good dude.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was awesome. Learned a lot of information about firearms safety.
Yep.
Obviously, how he got into it, and really, it's about finding your passion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to find your passion, and then hopefully you can get in a position where you can take your passion and make a living out of it as well.
Yeah.
'Cause
He'll be there. He's got the motivation.
He'll be there, and hopefully, the network will come together for him and get some things rolling. And I think that's a nice niche, though. I don't know too many. A lot of companies, especially in protection, that I've ever. You have to go to their training.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't come
you
to
pay
you.
thousands of dollars.
Pay thousands
we were
of
just
dollars.
talking about this the other day.
And a lot of people whose dreams might be to be in protection or firearms or whatever. Obviously, you have your local ranges and stuff like that, but something of that nature where it's all encompassing with hand-to-hand combat,
Right.
Carrying yourself differently. You're not going to find that
Well, I think-
at a traditional range.
Right. And I think that's his whole idea, that practical defense initiative. So I think he's on the right path.
Right, but so if you encompass everything and you put it all into one platform, and then he's willing to come to you.
Right.
Now, obviously, there's a price tag on that, obviously, but that's actually the convenience factor, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to go to you; you come to me. I mean, that's why Amazon's gotten so big. That's why
We'll
it is
pack
what
Scott. We'll pack Scott Hunter up in an Amazon box and send him to wherever.
Prime. Can we do it,
We
Prime?
could get
I mean, that's a
Prime,
big. He's a big boy.
Yeah. Well,
That's a hell of a box.
You gotta send him with his weights too, so he can lift.
Well, that's a hell of a box.
All right, folks. We appreciate you joining us today. This is Scott.
And this is Chris.
Join us at headtoheadpodcast.com. We're on 9 platforms, including YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, etc. And we hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you very much for joining us. God bless you all.
Take care, Warriors.